Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad, Black Door, Ice Water, and yours truly, Puma. We're going to get right into the NBA play-in, not the playoffs, but the play-in. And Black, convince me that the Lakers are going to make a run to the Western Conference Finals after barely beating Minnesota with two of their players out. I'll say one player out because I don't even count Gobert as a player in the NBA anymore because he's worthless. But convince me that the Lakers are going to make this miraculous run to the Western Conference Finals and meet up with the Eastern Conference Final champ.
They shouldn't even suspend the Gobert because that wasn't even a punch. That was like a push. That wasn't even a punch. I wonder why. It's amazing, man. I'm more concerned with next year how ESPN and everyone's going to basically follow LeBron because we have had 2 or 3 years where LeBron just basically showed you, I can give you in flashes from time to time, but I'm not really worth watching TV for anymore. He's just not, man. And you're right. I don't get it. I watched a little of that game last night, and I'm like, I actually thought Minnesota was going to win. I turned it off. I said Minnesota's probably going to win. But you watch them play, and it's like they're all over the place, man. The Lakers are all – who are they going to beat in a 7-game series? Who? I mean, if you tell me they could do one-on-one games, they might win a series if that was the case, but they're not. And it's amazing the attention that's devoted to them. I understand it because LeBron, his name, he's been around for a long period of time. But at some point, man, you got to pay attention to what's going on and be real about it. They don't have a shot, bro. They don't have a shot. I mean, they're being quiet about Denver. I mean, nobody's giving Denver a chance. I still say Golden State's kind of lying in the woods, lying in the grass. They have a possibility. Phoenix is starting to look a little better. But even with that being said, man, I'm going to shoot it back to you and go, and say Dallas. I mean, they're saying now, they think they might want to leave next year, man. That Luka may want to get the hell up out of here. Yeah, he might not think about that for a second. He's like, I don't even want to play with Kyrie. That's what he's basically saying. I had this team to myself. I don't want to go. So even though, I thought the play-in was a good thing maybe a year or 2 years ago. But looking at it this year, there's no juice to it, bro. There's no juice. You're just giving teams that play mediocre all year a chance to basically try to play good in the last week or two of the season. It's no excitement to it anymore, bro. Because even though Atlanta got past Miami, Atlanta shouldn't be going into the playoffs. LA shouldn't be going to the playoffs. Minnesota should not be going to the playoffs. At the end of the day, it's not like they're going to sneak up. I said one thing about football: you can basically luck up, win a game here, win a game there. You might end up in the big Super Bowl. In basketball, when you got to win a 4-game, 7-game series, those teams that play, they don't have a shot, bro. They don't have a shot. So I like what they're doing maybe in the future. Next season, I think they're going to have like play-in tournaments throughout the season. That's a good idea. But this play-in stuff, to me, it losses this year.
I kind of looked at Miami when in 2020 we went to the bubble, and I don't even count that as a NBA season. But I wasn't really surprised that the Atlanta Hawks beat the Miami Heat because the Miami Heat hasn't been that same team that we saw in the bubble. And I keep saying this, and until somebody proves me wrong, I'm going to keep saying this. Jimmy Butler is not a max player. He's not that type of superstar player who's going to put a team on his back and win a championship. He proved that in 2020 in the bubble series, and he's proving that now. How do you let Atlanta whip on you at home when you're supposed to be the team that's supposed to be in the top 8, actually?
Right there with Atlanta. I mean, I understand what you say. It's easy to say Jimmy Butler's not a max player, but let's keep this 100. In my opinion, that you look at what's surrounding him. They don't have a power forward. They do not. They miss Jay Crowder so damn bad, it's ridiculous. You need another dog. You got what was it, the Bay Abayo or what have you? He's there and he's trying to do a little something. But when I watched that game last night, I saw a bunch of guards and some small forwards, and you saw Atlanta beating them to the ball. You saw Atlanta grabbing the rebounds. You saw Clint Capella, he had like 22 rebounds or something. I mean, he looked like he was in college dominating guys in high school. So you had a lot of leapers and a lot of guys getting putbacks, and they kept getting the tips and everything. And Miami had nothing on the inside. Nothing. And you can't win games like that. You cannot win. I mean, Jimmy Butler may not be that max player, but damn, who he playing with? And all the guys, like I told y'all before, heroes, shooting jumpers a little bit, missing a little bit. Lowry's older. But they caught up with Miami. Miami had the hero and had the other little white guy that can shoot, and now the league caught on to him. They don't have anything on the inside. So you're running back and forth from Atlanta. And the one thing that surprised the hell out of me was I'm watching that game is the little dude start passing the ball. What? You ain't trying to shoot everything. He actually was passing the ball. Like you want to win. And they're young enough and they have enough size, they can cause some problems. Are they going to win anything else? No, probably not. But they had enough to beat Miami because Miami was trying to play their game. But I mean, I look at Jimmy Butler from that standpoint. You got to add something to the table. I mean, they've been trying for a long time. I mean, Lowry, when he came from Toronto, I was like, he had a nice game last night, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. But we'll see. And moving quickly to those Lakers, man. I'm just like, whoa, really? What y'all doing? I'm like, okay. And then they won. And I was like, okay, well, they barely made it. They barely made it. And I'm not saying they're going to go to the Western Conference Final or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're going to get even close. But I will say, I'm going to say this. And y'all look at me crazy because LeBron is done and all that too. I think they got a shot to beat Memphis. And I'm going to tell you why. Memphis, I've been saying it forever. Memphis is young. You got Ja, you got a lot of whatever. And granted, they may have the talent to beat them, but they don't always play smart. You got Dylan Brooks talking about, I hope we play the Lakers. You got your wish now. You got your wish. Okay? So this still, at the end of the day, they got to win basketball games. And granted, as old as LeBron is, and as injury prone as AD is, somebody got to check AD. AD look like he want to play a little bit, just a little bit. That's a problem. LeBron, that's a problem. Now you have other guys that are playing, like was it the veteran guard, was it Schrader?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Schrader hit that jumper. Schrader looked like okay. And even though D'Angelo Russell can't shoot his way out of a paper bag, he is passing the ball. They are a better team overall. Are they gonna win it all or anything like that? No. But I think they got a shot against Memphis because Memphis is out of control. You got when they made the trade for Luke Kennard, who's really playing well down there, hitting some shots, that type of stuff. But my question is, although they're younger, Memphis is younger, and they got Ja and all this too. Do you have enough? Who knows? This might be LeBron. They might feel like playing for 3 games. Who knows? You never know. They made it. They didn't. If they had not made it, you go, yeah. But now it's like they have nothing to lose. Everybody knows it. You guys just talked about. Don't nobody expect nothing of them. LeBron, they have nothing to lose. They do not. And a lot of people are like, well, the pressure on the Lakers. No, it's not. No. It's not. They barely got in. They have nothing to lose. So if they lose, y'all gonna talk about them. If they win the series, y'all gonna talk about them. They're gonna be talking about. So they have nothing to lose. So why not come out and play? And imagine if they upset the number 2 seed, Memphis. And it's like, wow, man, did you see that coming? Then we're going to say, oh, they ain't going to win the next series. That don't even matter. If they beat Memphis, it's a successful season.
And I agree with you. I think they can. Who really disappointed me last night for Minnesota is Anthony Edwards, because he's always talking about he's the best and all this other stuff. Yeah. In the playoffs, now you have to prove it, bro. And you can't have a shooting night like you had last night. I know they got to play another game, but you can't have a shooting night like that.
Can I tell you this? And I'm just going to keep this 100. There are certain times that mental goes a long way. I love Anthony Edwards. I think he's a very talented individual. He can go. But, you know, people say certain things. When you start looking at folks and admiring people, you can see the interaction between him and LeBron before the game. It was like that was his uncle. He was talking to his uncle. And he came out, had one of the worst games ever. Yep. Because you start looking at folks, you start playing in their shadow instead of playing your game. Now, I think next game he will come out and play well because he's not admiring nobody. But he's looking at the legend known as LeBron, and his whole game was gone. It was gone. And I think that mental plays a way because, you know, Chummy and Powell's with a guy. And also remember, LeBron picked him on his all-star team too. So, you know, it was one of his first picks. Dude, I'm telling you, a lot of that stuff goes on. Old school don't matter. Somebody sit down, have coffee with you, have a couple of drinks on the football field back in the day, they're going to knock the hell out of you on Sunday.
Yep.
You know, because I got a job to do. Everybody too nice now in these things, but yeah, I was a little surprised by his game, but I think they might show up on
Friday.
Friday. And I'm gonna just say this about, you know, even though was it Jaber, Gobert, whatever. I mean, I understand the punch one another, but it's the principle. Don't punch your teammate, dog. Just because he said you ain't grabbing no rebound.
You're not blocking shots. You're not grabbing rebounds.
Whatever. Why you gonna punch him during the game? Why didn't you hit him in practice? I mean, I'm telling you, the more and more I see that cat, and I think he's almost a joke to me. And I'm gonna leave it on this last point with him. Do you remember when they were talking about cutting the games down because of COVID? Mm-hmm. And he was talking about, oh, I got COVID. And he was touching the mics, and his dumbass ended up having COVID. And that's when my man Mitchell was like, man, I think I got COVID from that stupid month, because he was always playing. He didn't take anything serious. This is before COVID broke out. I think I got COVID. He ended up catching it and probably infected the whole damn team. He just, for a dude so big and talented, he just can be a joke. And I think this was another joke with him being a knucklehead when they damn sure could have used him last night.
I don't think it would have made any difference last night with him in it. I saw him in Utah all those years, and it's like he's just ineffective. He's just useless. He's 7 foot, and to me, he's useless. He's useless. Black, yeah. I kind of feel with these playing games, I kind of feel how you and Ice feel about the playing games in the NCAA tournament. Like, you don't even know they're on. I didn't even know they were on, actually. And then I was just searching around. I'm like, oh, there's a basketball game on. It wasn't on my feed where they say all the sports to watch on my cable channel. And I'm like, okay, maybe they're not playing tonight. But, I had to fish around to kind of find them. I'm starting to not really like this playing. And I see what you're doing, NBA. You want to make some money. You want to recoup from all those years. You didn't make the money. This is a new way to make some money, some excitement from franchises and fans that, would have no way to look at these games, no way to buy tickets to playoff games, because your team would be out if you had the top 8 teams.
Yeah, it's lost its luster, bro. It might have had it for a little while, but it's lost it. And it just doesn't, even if, you find games you really want to watch. I mean, those games weren't really competitive. They weren't tight. It was like they were scrapping, was Miami really trying to scrap and get in? Minnesota was just kind of basically all over the place. The Lakers weren't much better. It's because, again, they're not good basketball teams. At the end of the day, they're not good basketball teams. To me, the NBA, I spoke of the inside tournament games, they got to find a way to make the season important. They have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they got to do. They got to forget the playing stuff. You got to find a way to make the season value. And part of it is this, there's too many teams, so you're not going to reduce that. You got to reduce the games, bro. You got to reduce the games. I don't care if it's 10 or whatever. You got to make it to where you want to be in the playoffs. You want to get a top seed. A lot of these teams now don't care. If they can get in basically top 5 or whatever, 2, 3, 4, they don't care because they've seen teams won. So, and again, with that being said, this low management stuff, you got to cut that out, bro. That's got to stop. If you ain't got an injury, they got to find a way. If you don't have an injury, you got to get out there and play. No more, I'll take off this. I'll wait around. I'll do this. No more. I'll keep you play for 100 years. People pay money to see you come out there and play basketball. So they got some work to do in all season. It's going to be interesting if it gets accomplished. But to me, they got to find a way to make the regular season work. And his playing stuff is not it. It's just not it, bro. It's not it.
Ice playing or play out?
I mean, it could be played out, but I do agree with cutting the games down. And I say that because when they did that with the bubble, it was some of the best basketball. When this short, I don't know if it's the bubble, but the shortened season. When they had the shortened season, it was some of the best basketball because you had to really come in and play. It's very competitive, and you can't do that load management thing because if you sit back too long, you might be down 10. So, I think they should do that. I don't know, man. That playing game is just back and forth. I mean, I can see it's losing its luster, but that when you go 1-8, I'm not saying that's exciting too much either. So I don't know. I mean, at least you get to see some teams play that you don't think got a chance in hell. Like tonight, I get a chance to watch OKC. I'm excited about that. I don't know if they're gonna win, but no other time when I get to see OKC, they ain't on national TV. I see him next year. But I mean, it's kind of like when Phoenix, when they had Monty Williams and they didn't make it in. I mean, at least that was, you could see the prelude to the future. You know, a little bit. I mean, it's a game. I'd rather watch that than right now be watching baseball. Anyway, but
Oh,
I said right now.
Yeah, because the season's just started.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, give me some hoops. I'm just saying.
All right.
Be quiet, Black Thor.
Sticking to the NBA, DeMarcus Cousins, he's 32 years old. Last played in the 21-22 season with the Denver Nuggets and averaged about 9 points a game. He signed with a Puerto Rican professional basketball team, according to Wojciechowski. He's trying to get back in the NBA. He's 32 years old. I think this is it for him. I mean, I don't think he's coming back to the NBA, and I don't think anybody really wants him. And it's due to injuries, and it's due to his attitude all those years, I believe.
Let's keep it 100. It's his attitude, bro. He's serviceable, bro. If he still average 9 points a game, it's a lot of centers in there that can't give you 4 points.
Gobert.
Yeah, I'm saying. If he's not injured, he's not going to be who he was. But I mean, he can come off the bench. He can do that JaVale McGee thing. But they don't want him. They don't like him. They don't want him. So I think you should keep going down to Puerto Rican League and average 40 a game. Get your money. I mean, it's still good money. So just because you want to play in the league, don't let them mean they want you in the league. And they think he's always got a bad attitude. He's a tough customer. I love to have a couple beers with him because he seemed cool as hell. It just seemed like if you say something kind of like a la Michael Beasley, he would say something crazy as hell to you. Be like, was that called for? I don't know why you said something like that. He's like, dude, man, I'm just being me. But I think he's just a little bit over the top. He comes from a hard-working family. I don't think he misunderstood. He is who he is, but I don't think they want him anymore. I don't think they want to put up with the so-called headaches. And he's also, because he's been in the league and has accomplished some things, he can be very opinionated. And if you have like a young team like they did in Houston at that time, and they weren't winning nothing anyway, it just can be a bad mix.
All right, Black Cousins. I think this is the last stop for him.
It won't be long for they kick him out of that league too, bro. It won't be long. He's not going. I'm gonna double down on what I said, bro. He's his own worst enemy, man. He's been on some very good teams where he could just basically adapt, kept his mouth shut, went out there. For some reason, he has in his head he's better than who he is. He's stronger, and at the end of the day, Boogie really hasn't accomplished nothing. If you think about it, he spends more time out there causing problems, getting dumb fouls. He's not coachable. He hasn't been coachable. So no, I mean, his career ends up where it needs to be. And again, I don't think it's gonna be lasting long. But I was listening, and I was thinking this. When you think about, if I'm not mistaken, he came from Kentucky Wildcats, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. If you look at a lot of those cats that came out, man, outside of Anthony Davis, man, what is it, bro? I mean, you look at, they basically looked in college, and I know I get Towns a rough time. I'm not saying he played bad last night, but I look at the slew of a lot of those players, man. It's like, I don't know. It's like they all went there to come to the NBA, but once they got to the NBA, man, they just didn't kind of muster up and do anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you look at it, I mean, Calipari has a great track record of getting folks to the NBA. I mean, there are tons of Kentucky players in the NBA right now. But, they didn't kind of pan out to championships unless you talk about AD. Yeah. And, they're good players, and they stay in the league. But I thought Boogie would be one of those players that would get a chip, especially when he played with Golden State. I thought that was an opportunity for him to get there, but it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. All right, let's go to the next story. Let's go to NFL. And I'm going to stay with Black on this one. You got Odell Beckham Jr., 1-year deal with the Ravens. Is this going to sweeten the pot to get Lamar Jackson, Mar to the Ravens since they gave him a little weapon?
Yeah, Odell act like everybody wanted him. He's talking about the Jets thing. Odell, nobody really wants you. I mean, now they really don't, boss. Nobody wants you, and it's like, what can you really offer at this point? Seriously speaking, you have your ring, make this money. It's not bad money for 1 year. Move on, man. I'm not sure the Ravens did that hoping that Lamar would come. Ravens want any receiver, but guess what? They couldn't get it with the offensive coordinator they had, so they'll take anybody at this point for 1 year. If they think that's enough to bring back Lamar, you're kidding yourself, man. I mean, at the end of the day, Lamar got to sit out until he's wearing another uniform, bro. In my opinion, he's just got to sit out. And in his head, I'm not going to play until you trade me. I'm playing for another team. And I think I should have, again, I say should have done that last year. But clearly now, man, clearly they're not going to pay you what you're worth. And you're going to have to basically force their hand and do not show up. Don't stop. If you're going to talk, say it. But if you're not, just don't show up. But no, Odell to me, man, this story shouldn't even move the meter. It shouldn't have been a story, bro. It really shouldn't have been. It should have been nothing. But Odell is basically know how to sell himself. He does know how to sell himself. So that's why it gets the attention. But if anybody thinks if Lamar was there, let's say they gave Lamar his money, what is he going to do on that team? What is he going to really do? Not much, bro. I'm not buying it.
True. Ice, what are your words on this, man?
I thought it was breaking news. It was amazing news. I was like, oh my God, Odell Beckham. The thing I was thinking about, my God, thank God he didn't sign with the Cowboys.
I thought the Cowboys wanted him at one particular point.
I thought so too, but when I saw he signed, I was like, woo, baby, because I mean, it's enough problems. That got enough problems. He got receivers down there. He don't know where they now. Odell Beckham is gonna start talking to him. I can't get the ball. You remember Cleveland, anyway. You don't think it'd be the same thing in Dallas?
Yeah.
So I was relieved that that he was gone on to Baltimore. And like you said, Baltimore had a receiver since hell. Ozzie Newsome play for them anyway. When he switched over from Cleveland, he was in Baltimore. Oh, he was the general manager and coach. My bad. I mean, you think about you name me the last wide receiver that was worthwhile over there. What's my man? Damn, I can't even think about it. Anyway, I'm sure they had a couple of them, but it's been that long. They had 9 tight ends though. So I mean, I don't think that Lamar Jackson is. I think he was like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's interesting, that's a good move for the team. Kind of like it, but like Blackthorn said, I don't think it's gonna motivate him to come back. My only thing about Marmar is the fact that right now, if you ask for the trade, what do you want right now? Is it the money? Is it just the money? Do you want to win? Is it the money? What is it? That's what I want to know right now. Because if they trade him and whoever comes for him, whatever, I don't think it's going to be any type of playoff team. You go to Indianapolis, like I said, you think Baltimore don't have no receivers. What do you think they got in Indianapolis? You're gonna be throwing to the tight to the running back.
Yeah,
he's gonna be your number one receiver, like Fields was in Chicago. I mean, for real. So I want to know what does he want? Does he want to win, or do you want to just whatever? Maybe they could trade you to Minnesota or something, get rid of Cousins. But I mean, it's just one of them things that you want to know what's in the cards for him. Because if you want to win, and if he does not sit out, I can see him sitting out, like Blackthorn says, but I think it's going to be a money grab. That $32 million is going to be hard to walk away from. If you're going to play, I think I just take the 32. And if that's what you want to do, if you want to sit out, I think that's a great thing. But if they're not going to trade you, I take the 32 for a year, and I would let them know at the middle of the season, this is it, man. This is it. I'm going to play my ass off. I'm going to show what I'm capable of. If y'all try to sign me, I ain't coming back. I would tell them straight out, I ain't trying to get injured. I ain't going to sit out because I got a hamstring or I cut my big toe and nothing like that. I'm going to tell them straight up and down, this is my last year in Baltimore. So I'm going to give y'all this on this 32. I like my guys. Y'all got one dude over here. I'm still going to keep throwing to my tight ends. I'm going to give y'all all I got. And then y'all just need to let me go. That's what I would be. If you don't want to play this year, I get it too, because he has that right to say I'm sitting out. But right. If you do, I give him one. Give me the 32. Let me get the hell out of here. But I promise you, after this right here, it's a wrap. Unless y'all come with that $979 million that contract I want. Other than that, I'm done.
Run me my money. That's basically what he needs to say for the rest of his time there. It should be interesting around the draft and after the draft what the Ravens do. But we're going to go to the Major League Baseball report followed by the WNBA report. They had a big draft this week. So, we got a team, Ice, that is running away with an 11-0 record, the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Yankees would be in first place if it wasn't for the Tampa Bay Rays. And everybody else has an 8-4 record at leading their division or a 7-4 record. But the Tampa Bay Rays are they're just rolling over people.
Yeah, they are. You know, when you look at the American League East, they are 11-0, and it's very impressive, really. But Blackthorn, this is what Yankee fans do. They ain't got nothing else to talk about right now. So they talk about if we was in the other division, we'd be in first place. Damn, it's a lot of games. 162 games in the whole season. You talking about it's a shame they ain't in first place. No one cares. That's what I told you. I'm be watching basketball. Unless my boy Ohtani pitching. Other than that, no one cares. The Yankees are 8-4, second place. You know, I mean, what they doing? It's all right. Everybody's in the mix right now. Boston 5-6.
They're in last place.
Hey, oh my God, it's over. They need to start getting ready for the draft. Come on, man. My God, bro. Come on. It's just, man, don't do that. Don't do that, man. I'm just so anyway, American League East, you got the Tampa Bay is up. They're 11-0, 8-4 Yankees, still very early. They're playing well. Hot streak for Tampa. And that's great. It's early, very early. Boston 5-6 in last. Baltimore 6-5, playing about above 500. Moving over to the Central, if we look at there, Minnesota's in first place, 8-4. If they were in the East, if the Yankees were in the East, they'd be tied for Minnesota for first place.
Just hate us, man. I'm gonna get the shirt. Yankees.
You need to, because what you just said is just a perfect example of what Yankee people think about early in the season. Cleveland is in second place, 7-6. The Chicago White Sox are 5-8. Oh my God, their season's over. Anyway,
pretty much.
Where's Tony La Russa? Anyway, moving over to the West in the American League. Texas Rangers have been hot. They come back to life. 6-4 in their last 10, won 3 straight. 7-4. The team coming in second place right now in the division is the LA Angels, which is one of my favorite teams. My favorite player in Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani. If you don't know who he is, Google him and find out and watch him pitch and hit. Amazing player. Houston is in third place. Oh, they're only 6-7. Do they have a chance to make the playoffs? I don't know. It's so early. I don't know. In the West, moving up to the National League. Atlanta's in first place, 8-4, same record as the Yankees. Oh my God, Yankees be in first place in National League East as well. Anyway, Mets are 7-6 in second place. Miami's 5-7, still early. Washington is 4-9. The Miracle Phillies, who were in the playoffs and then in the World Series last year, are only 4-7. Is their season over? Oh my God. Anyway, moving over to Central. Milwaukee is in first place, 8-4, same record as the Yankees. Yankees would be in first place in the Central if they were over in the National League Central. Anyway, Pittsburgh is in second at 7-5. Chicago Cubs 6-5, not playing real well. Cincinnati Reds 4-6. I told you there are a lot of teams wish they were like the Yankees, so I don't want to hear you complaining. The Reds will be in last place. The Reds will be in last place, no what division they're in, no matter what. No matter what division they're in. Okay. Anyway, last but not least, we're gonna move to the American League West, National League West. I'm sorry. Arizona's in first place, 8-5. San Diego 7-6. A lot of talent over there. Still early, still trying to fill it out. I think the pitchers are still trying to find their ways. The Dodgers are 500. Oh my God, 6-6. What will they do? All that talent over there. Are they going to make a run? We don't know. I think their season is over. We should go moving on. Anyway, San Francisco 5-6. Moving out, Colorado 5-8. Biggest things gonna happen in Colorado is the fact that Deion Sanders coaching football, so everybody gonna turn their attention to Colorado Buffalo spring football. So they might be away from baseball for a while. That's what we got. It's real early. Everybody else, the other teams except for the Reds, y'all calm down. Puma's over here having almost having an asthma attack because his team is in second place. They're 8-4 and would be leading division any other damn league, any other division but that one. So now that's what Yankees do. It's amazing when you're rich, you got a lot of money, you just keep wanting more money. It's like, damn, can somebody have some? Can I have a little glory?
No.
That's all for this week on the Baseball Report.
All right, Black. I was watching the draft, and I can't tell you how many times that Dawn Staley got up and hugged her players, especially getting picked in the first round. Your thoughts about the draft this week?
Yeah, to a degree, it was exciting, bro. I looked at it like it's hard to kind of really pay attention when you realize these players are going to get dogged out. It's not like they're coming in something better. Think about this for a second, man. The last college game of the season for women basketball pulled what, 9 million people, 9.2 million people? When the last time a WNBA game pulled a million?
I don't think ever.
So it's the same game, same women. What's the drop off? Well, why are people willing to watch college women play? Well, why not professional women play? I don't know, bro. So to me, it was hard for me to really kind of focus on the draft. I'm happy to see South Carolina players go and the players get drafted. Congratulations to them. But you come into a league that's going to disrespect you. Being honest, that's not going to love you. That's going to make you ride in a plane, back tight, tight with everybody else, and put you out there. So it's I can't even say it's a celebration, man. And I'm just being honest. I'll do the report, but I got to give it the honest and give it the straight up and down. So it's hard to see them walk up there and be happy because I'm happy for them. But what are they coming to? Yeah. They might have been treated better in college. I mean, like I said, when you think about it with the NILs, they could be better treated in college. Sad, but true.
So I'm going to ask you this quick question about the draft. What team kind of really helped themselves out in this particular draft?
I think Minnesota, because I don't think Minnesota's that far off. I always think I like their head coach. I think Mystic did well too, but I think Minnesota, in a sense, they had so many stacked players. They had to retool, and they kind of been doing that for a little while. So that's the team I would kind of say I think kind of did well in the draft.
All right, Ice. Any thoughts about the WNBA draft?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to watch and see the ladies get their money and move forward and everything like that too. But I was interested to see what was going to happen with the first pick. They did pick who we thought they would. Yeah, but two, it was something that you mentioned. I was surprised by the young lady, the guard from South Carolina, Bree. She went so late. I thought she would go a little earlier. But watching just the different ones, I guess the one thing that I said before, and people don't want to hear it, I think the issue with WNBA, there's too many teams. I said that. I think that they should tighten up the teams. That's a lot of people gonna be mad because they're like, oh, it's not right. The ones aren't getting their money, and everybody should be able to. Yeah, but if you want that league to kind of step up, you need to tighten up on the competition. We need to have more than 2 teams or 3 teams that are gonna make a run. Like right now, everybody and their brother. If you only watch the WNBA, when Candace Parker goes out to LA, not LA, but Las Vegas with Becky Hammond, you already know. You just count that. They're gonna be one of the top teams already. And when you got to look at the roster, we already know what that is. So I think if you tighten it up and have it where you have either, I don't know, they won't go for a junior league because it's bad enough not having one big league, but something where the numbers are tighter, the games are more competitive, and I think you can kind of say, all right, now we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it happen. And again, I know they can't do it because the networks are not interested, but I think it's a true disservice for them having to play in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I just say it because people doing a lot of stuff, and I know people go, well, they can't compete with the other sports. I get that, but it's just rough, man. I mean, I watched women's basketball previously, and it was always in the wintertime, like it's supposed to be. You just have to find an audience and hope you pick on it. And I know there's not room for them on TV, but in the summertime, if you can't draw in the summertime, when people are going to the state fair, and I mean going to the circus, like I said, is no longer in existence, except in small venues, there's something wrong. And I think, again, I think the WNBA is running simply because the NBA feels like they owe it to them to be politically correct, following like a Title IX procedure. And that's sad to say because there's some great players there. But only a few are making that money, and they're getting their money in NIL, not NIL, but the major endorsements. I mean, you look at it now where Candace Parker's in every damn thing but that's because what she's doing. What is it? What's the other young lady that does all the car commercials and stuff now, doing the Subway commercials too, from Seattle? Can't think of her name.
Yeah, Bird. She retired. Yeah.
Yeah, Bird. Yeah. But there were so many. There's a number of them that were just only a few. So they got to do something. They got to do something to pick it up, because if you don't increase the competition, you're losing it. And I understand about the planes and stuff, but I don't think that's ever going to change. Don't give me the 100. They can go out there. The only way, and Blackdoor said it early on, they're going to have to strike. They're gonna have to walk away. Everybody, not just one person, but everybody. And then the question then is, how many people are gonna do it? It's kind of like NFL football because they're afraid of losing their money. Because somebody might just say, "Oh, y'all want to play? I'm just gonna write this off and let's turn the lights off, close the door, turn the camera off. That's a wrap." It was nice while I ran.
Yeah, and I think some sports are just seasonal because between between the three of us, how many of us have watched an XFL game or is the USFL game playing?
Yeah,
I don't even know when they're on, and when
yeah.
they're on, I don't watch. I just can't watch football right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's tough to. You're right. One league is on, and then another league just got started, so they're like going back to back. And I can't tell you the team's names. I'll be honest with you. You don't know they exist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a clown show, and
Yeah.
it's not real, and it's a certain season. Now in August and September, that's when I get in my football mode. College football starting, that's when I get my football mode. I am exhausted after the Super Bowl. I don't want to see any more football after that, and so that's when you get into the March Madness, all that other stuff. It's just seasonal, and then you put the women in the summer of basketball. It's just not. I mean, I can't wait. I can't tell you how many times I've said this to YouTube is that I don't even care who win the NBA championship. I just want it over. It's just too long. I don't want to see it no more. Questions from the squad. Black, what's your first question?
You know, it's interesting. I was gonna make this my final thing, but I think I'm gonna ask a question. Dawn Staley came out tonight. It might have been the night that they lost, and she was saying that there was reporters that talked about our players, called them monkeys, thugs, all this stuff. She said it was national reporters, and she wanted to let them know that's not who they are. But I was disappointed in Dawn. I really was, because my point is, why didn't you drop their names? And you say they work for reputable national companies. It's not good enough to say what they said, because we know that's what they said. And what really bothered me, I just want to get you guys' opinion. She said, you can say that in your home, but why say it? No, they shouldn't be saying it anywhere. But the mere fact that they said when you heard it and you know who they are, why are you protecting them? Why are you? I mean, I don't. That's what kind of just played with my head, and that's what I want to throw out. What's up with Dawn?
Ice.
I think Dawn is for the ladies. She really wants them to do well. She's all about it, but I think at the same time, Dawn know too. Dawn ain't trying to cross that line. Dawn in a sweet position. So I agree with you. It'd be nice to hear their names, but when you put them names out there and they start, it could be a mutiny. And I understand it's great to stand up. But one thing we know about sports and the way that it goes, that you want an item by yourself, a lot of people don't come and support you. And that's a damn shame. Kaepernick, Kirk Flood, we can go on and on. When you stand on by yourself, you're like, oh yeah, I got you. Black Thor, you got me. Yeah, I'm gonna be right there with you. I'm gonna be right there with you. Then when they get hot, they start burning them coals. Everybody, well, man, I got a little busy. I had to run home to the wife, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just people stand alone. And I think it's a way of getting close to the edge, to the line, and not going over. And I think that's what she knows she has to do, because, I mean, she's in a great position, great spot. And I know you should never, in a perfect world, you should not be afraid to say what you want to say, right? I get that. But you got to think about, she's on the commercial, Aflac with Coach K, and got her feet up. And I mean, it's a lot, bro. And people love her. She beat UConn. She got a lot going on. Got doing the sandal commercials. She got a lot of endorsements. So you gotta be careful, because them checks start leaving. And I know that's a sellout. I'm just speaking it. You and I both know she on national TV with Coach K talking about being the GOAT. And they replaced Dion, whatever. Dion's busy. So let's get Dawn Staley. So Dawn is in a very unique and lucrative position right now. So again, she'll step to the line. She ain't crossing over. Dawn like them checks. I ain't mad at you, Dawn. Just say a little bit more at the line, though.
Yeah. I wish she would have named names too, but I think she got pressure from her university to say, you know what, don't kick up too much dust. We're getting a lot of press. When have you heard South Carolina's women getting this much press and this much notoriety? And so I could see folks from the top of the university saying, listen, I understand, but don't cross this line. and let's keep getting while the getting is good on this, and let's not spoil the turn over the apple cart right now. But I really do think that people need to be called out. I don't know if any of you seen the video of the I guess it's a Georgia coach who filmed himself with a lot of racist sayings and thoughts and all this other stuff, and about black people because he was in Atlanta, and all of a sudden, you find out that he has mixed race grandchildren. He's in pictures with black football players. He's talking about lynching folks and that he don't want to come back to Atlanta. You can have Atlanta and all this other stuff. I mean, you're right. People shouldn't be saying this in their homes. People shouldn't be kind of spewing this on their jobs as journalists, but it does happen. I think that her just addressing it will shed some light to it, but I do think she got some pressure from the higher ups at South Carolina to say, listen, you can go this far, but let's kind of not go too far so we lose our notoriety and then we have to do things that we might regret. My opinion.
I think it's more what I said, bro. I do. I think Dawn says, I'm out here now. Things are good. We lost. We lost, but things are good. And and I understand that. I don't like it, but I understand it. And it's just sad that, to me, I think those names should have been dropped. And then what's the thing that gets me too? Sometimes you could do things without having to do it yourself. And that's where you find other people to say some things for you or put some things out there. It's just creativeness. But I do understand that. I'm going to try not to lose respect for her over this. Really, I am. But I understand what you two are basically saying. I'm not sure the school itself said to her, be quiet, don't say anything. But I don't think she wanted the smoke that was going to come behind that. And I think she realized she's in a good place. She's doing some things. Things are well for her. Because I don't think her saying that would have hurt her recruitment. I don't think it would hurt South Carolina as a whole. I don't think it would have been any detrimental to her as a coach, but it could have basically worked against her as far as mainstream. And Dawn has hit the mainstream, and I'm not mad at her right now. She's mainstream Madison Avenue, and she's rocking it. So good luck to her.
All right, Ice, your question?
Yeah, my question is, we got NFL draft coming up at the end of the month. A lot of speculation as to what's going to happen. But from your view, we know that Carolina has the first pick, right? From your view, who do you think they're going to select? And what do you think that's going to work? Because you have Stroud from the Ohio State University. You have Young from Alabama. And you have Richardson as well from Florida. And the quarterback, is it Will Allen from Kentucky? So out of those guys, I mean, how do you think this is going to play out? Because Houston has a second pick, and they need a quarterback as well.
I'm going to tell you about that Kentucky quarterback after Black goes. He has a glitch I don't like. Don't choose him. I'll tell you the glitch after Black goes.
It's hard to believe that they pass up Alabama's quarterback. It's hard to believe, but I will say this, though. Naming a quarterback that came out of Alabama that's really lighting it up, bro. That's the thing. I mean, well, you got what's name in Philly. You got what's name in Philly. So I don't know. I just something about Alabama quarterbacks. So you look at the Patriots right now. They're trying to get rid of Jones. They're trying to get rid of Jones, man. So I would not be surprised they go with Stroud. I just would not be surprised they go with the quarterback from Ohio State. I think I'm saying his name correctly, and kind of walk away from him. And I think that kid in Alabama is it. But I think they might flip it and go with Ohio State. Here again, something about Ohio State. I mean, Alabama quarterbacks. You look at them. There's nothing wrong if it's the system. You really do. And I think realistically, even when I said about the quarterback with the Eagles, if you think about it, man, and I'm not trying to knock Alabama with this, let's not forget he played at Oklahoma for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
1 year, and I think he grew that year. He grew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got to go with the Ohio State quarterback Stroud. And I've been saying that. A lot of people have been asking me that offline, and I've been saying Stroud. That's the guy they need to go with. But the Kentucky quarterback, I saw a glitch in his kind of routine. And what he does when you hike the ball to him, he has to flip the ball over in his hands to have his laces in his hands. And that in the NFL, you may not have time to do that. He has to throw with the laces. You may not have time to do that. And I watch all the quarterbacks, and all the quarterbacks get the ball, no matter where the ball is, they're holding it and they're getting rid of it. You can see him if you ever watch him, in the workouts and stuff. He flips the ball while he's going back. Now, in bad weather, in wet weather, and stuff like that, that may be a problem. In blitzes where he's, doesn't have time to do that, that may be a problem. When I saw that, I'm like, I don't know if they're going to push him to be one of those highly drafted quarterbacks. That's a glitch that I saw that I'm like, that's not going to work. Ice?
It's hard because I'm right here. And of course, everybody's pulling for Stroud, and he's done some amazing things. I will say this about Carolina, in the way that they move forward, trying to figure out who they're going to pick, they took their whole contingent with them. Mm-hmm. So when they went to Alabama Pro Day, they had the head coach, they had the owner, they had the offensive coordinator, they had a lot of coaches on there trying to figure it out. They did the same thing when they came to Columbus. I think it would be Stroud or Young. The only thing I think Stroud is the best ready-made to play quarterback right now. I'm not saying he's going to dominate the league or anything like that, but I think you could put him in a game and he could be okay. As long as you surround him with a decent offensive line, give him some weapons, I think he can make some plays. Young is a very smart player as well, but Young's size scares me. He's 5'10" and he's small. Yeah. Can that happen? Yes. Little dude out in Arizona, yeah, you can do it. Run around, run for your life. But I just think that makes me a little nervous. I think Stroud is a little bit more durable. Anthony Richardson, I think it is quarterback from Florida. He's such a project. They said you watch him throw the ball, he can throw the ball probably 100 yards. Seriously. But the little in-betweens, and he reminds me of what's the guy that the Raiders chose? Jamarcus Russell? Is that who it was?
Oh, you don't.
Well, I'm just saying from the raw talent, okay? Yeah. Raw talent. I'm not talking about the ins and outs, whatever was going on, but the straight raw talent. I'm like, if you can wait 4 years, maybe you got a project, but Houston needs to try to win now. They need somebody to play right now. Same with Carolina, even though Carolina has somebody that they can wait. But if you're only going to have a guy that can only wait, you want to have this guy in position to play within the next 3 years. I think you got to go with Stroud or you got to go with Young. And I'm a big Stroud just because they crucified him after they lost to Michigan twice. In that last Michigan game, they wanted to fire Ryan Day. They wanted to hang him at FPG, everything. They just destroyed him. And for them to come back and come this close and Stroud having the game of his life and ran when everybody said he couldn't run, did so many miraculous things to raise his stock up, it just shows you, I think, what kind of kid he is. I mean, that's that toughness now where you just go, and I think people are looking at the example too. There's no guarantees, but you look at the example of Justin Fields, right? Everybody throw Justin Fields like talking about he ain't gonna make it. Now we find out he got he's epileptic. Oh my God, he can't play football. He said, I've been playing football as an epileptic since I was 13. The hell y'all talking about? Y'all just found out about it. But it's just the toughness of both of these kids, particularly Stroud is a tough kid, and you like that. Not saying Young isn't, but as you mentioned, your boy Tua, they've been waiting on him for a long time. Ever since they got rid of Jalen Hurts. So who played in the Super Bowl? But Tua is, so that Alabama thing, Nick, we don't know, but Ryan Day may not be able to beat Michigan, but damn it, he got 2 quarterbacks that are ready to move forward to play in the NFL.
I got a question for both of you. I'll go to Black first. I just heard that Brittany Grinder is writing a book about her experiences over in Russia. Your thoughts, sir?
Sometimes you want people just to go away, be quiet. Sometimes you just want to be quiet, man. At the end of the day, who cares? And I know we want to be nice, we want to be politically correct, what the case may be. Yeah, so they're getting high. I don't want to read about that. I don't see why we should read about that. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, bro. To me, when the NAACP of California brought her on stage, you blew her head up, bro. It was like it's not like she was over there doing something great or something good for humanity. You writing a book about what? They shave your head. They didn't feed you well. Make your money though. Make your money. Like what's name's? Remember years ago the thing was out. Get your millions. Make your money, Brett. Because I'll be honest with you. I got a funny. Was Phoenix signed her for one more year? I'll be surprised after next year. I think she might be out of the league, bro. So make your money. Make your money.
Ice.
I mean, you can do what you want to do, and I know that people want to. They call it her being courageous, being over there, and it was a shame she's over there, what she had to go through. But what Blackthorn said is true. The reason why you was over there, because I mean, somebody must told you were privileged, and you went to another land. You went over there with drugs, and granted, we said, "Oh, that's not that big a deal." She's done it several times, but this time they weren't playing. So to embellish that as if it's something great, I mean, it's great the factor that she was able to survive, because I know that had to be a shock to her system. If anything, if I was to read the book, I just want to read the book. I wanted to see how the hell she survived, because you ain't smoking, you didn't have no weed. I don't think they let you smoke. You used to have certain things. You was in cramped quarters. That says a lot about who she is, because a lot of people would have folded. I wanted to tell us the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I want to know how you survived over there without getting high, without not long the bed accommodation, probably not the food that you wanted. What kept you going? I want to hear that part. But to embellish as if she's this truth, just great heroine for truth and the justice in the American way. I don't know about that. But I hope one last thing, I think she should come out with a message to go, whatever you do, don't carry up. It's over there playing with them people and these damn drugs. Because they don't care. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Midnight Express. If y'all know what that is, Google that. Google Midnight Express. You wouldn't carry a cigarette over there if you're going over. For real. It's that deep, that crazy. So I hope she sends that message that, hey, it's nothing to play with. Be very careful. I learned my lesson. I don't know if I'm ever going back. And if I do, I'm not carrying the damn thing with me. Not even a Tootsie Pop with me. I'm not carrying anything with me because I do not want to be caught. It's serious.
And that's my point there. I heard that she wants to write this book to warn other Americans not to do what she did. When you get your ticket, when you get your itinerary, they tell you what not to bring, what you can bring, and what you can't. I think we all know. And so you're just doing this for you. You're just doing it to recoup money. Nobody cares. You're not a hero. You took weed over there. I guess it was supposed to be for medical reasons. Does the WNBA sanction her using weed for medical reasons in the league now?
I don't think so.
No.
So why are we holding her up as this hero? And I said it when it was happening. It's not like I'm jumping on the bandwagon now. I know I said it when it was happening. Tough break, but you should have known better. I think Americans know better, or most of us know better not to bring drugs over to another foreign country. So you're not doing this book to help out, your fellow American citizens. You're doing this book because you want to recap money that you lost because you couldn't play in the WNBA, you couldn't play in Russia, and now you're trying to recoup money. So miss me with trying to help Americans at this particular point. And I don't get it. She did something illegal. Why are we holding her up on a pedestal like she's some big hero? And it's really great timing for her because the WNBA season is getting ready to start, and maybe the book is coming out in the same time, and then the WNBA can talk about this as a talking point, and maybe people will be interested. I won't. I'll be watching WNBA just like last year, little to none. Last second shot, Black.
Hey man, I want to say I think we need to check our egos in a sense, man. Michael Irvin. Have you heard any more about Michael Irvin?
No.
Trae Young. Basically, I said earlier, he passed the ball. Guess what? Because the owner said, I want your ass out of here. You can go trade yourself, man. And I think sometimes we got to realize, man, your ego can get in the way and kind of spoil some things you have coming your way. Let's humble ourselves. Humble ourselves. A lot of times our egos are getting in the way, man. Keep that in mind.
All right, Ice.
Yeah, we normally do a boxing show a little later, but I'm gonna throw something at you that really stood out to me. At the 135 lightweight division, Shakur Stevenson is one of the most talented individuals in boxing. He's coming, y'all. He's coming on his way. Everybody said he was too light at 130. He handled the business. Beat Yoshino at 135. Devin Haney is in that realm. Also, Tank Davis and a few other individuals. Shakur Stevenson, they talked about he has pillow hands. He doesn't hit anybody. He's focused. Just had a child with his girl, trying to get his mind right. And he clearly said, you guys act like I'm ducking. He said, 135, I want anybody. I want that smoke. And he also called out the right now the undisputed champion in Devin Haney. He said, we used to spar against one another. He already know. I used to get him in the gym. Bring it. I've been waiting on this. He said, I've been waiting a long time. Bring it. That's my boy. Let's go, Shakur.
It's Icewater Jr., I call
him.
Yeah. Just read a report, and we'll be talking about this in the next few shows, that Jeff Bezos is backing out of trying to put a bid in for the Washington Commanders. Maybe he knows something that we don't know, because surely he has the money to buy it. But all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I don't think I want to buy it. And maybe it's to keep that contract with, having hosting NFL games on Amazon. Maybe that might be a conflict of interest, but maybe he knows something. So we'll keep an eye on this story. Maybe he knows something we don't know about the Washington Commanders and the deal, and says, you know what? Never mind. I think I want to just sit here and deliver your packages to your home. We'll be back next week.